This is Melanie from Evolve Accounting and Empower Your Books. Wanted to do a tutorial today on reconciling your bank account. So when do you reconcile your bank account? As long as you have gone into your banking tab and all of your transactions for the month that show on the bank statement. So if you were doing, we'll say it's October now, so if you were doing your September bank statement, you would want to make sure all of your transactions in this banking tab before that bank cutoff are entered in. So you'll see in the sample company there's some transactions that still need to be put in before the reconciliation is done. So there are a couple different ways to get to the reconciliation, kind of a roundabout way, but if you're already in the bank register would be to go to the bank register, and then you have this green button up at the top that says to reconcile the account. So you should have your statement in front of you or on a second screen or split if you have your screen split, and then you're going to pull the bank balance in that shows on your bank statement and the date of that ending bank statement. Next, you're going to click the Start Reconciling tab. So as you go through, if this is your first time reconciling, you are going to get some information pop-ups from QuickBooks. So then the next thing you're going to go through is line by line. You're going to agree each line with the bank statement. So we're going to say this check number 4 did not clear and is not on the bank statement. Then we're going to scroll down and continue. And then this check 12 didn't clear. Make sure we got everything. Likes to jump a little bit on these buttons. And then there was a check as you're going through. And again, this is line by line with that bank statement. And this check number 70 did not clear. Almost through all of them. Going to scroll down this big tab. So, now that you've gone through and you found all the transactions were entered in, you saw earlier as we were going through, we'll just take one off so you can see it again if you didn't see it the first time. Sorry about that. I always click on the wrong side. You'll see there's a exclamation point and this button says save for later. So that allows you to save it because you're not fully reconciled. So you can click save for later if you need to go back and look in to see what's going on. If you were to click this Finish Now button, it would force you to come up with a difference for what made up this difference. So if there was a bank error and that sort of thing, we try very hard not to use that in any transactions that are put in this Finish Now button. And I clicked out of it. So I'm going to show you that. So if you click this Finish Now, it's going to make an adjustment as of the date of the bank statement. And that's going to go into reconciliation discrepancies, which still makes you have to go and figure out what caused that. But we know this is not accurate because we know that $2,000 is all the way down at the bottom. So we're going to get this checked off. And then you now have a green button that allows you to finish. So we're going to click the Finish button. Yay, you've reconciled this account. Click on this View Reconciliation Report. What this will give you is a reconciliation. Obviously, who it was reconciled. This is a sample company, so it would say my name if I was logged into my account. Statement beginning balance, which should agree with the prior month. All the checks and payments that went out in total, all the deposits that came in, and then you get the ending statement balance, which again is that number you put in that pulls from the transactions. Then next up
you're going to have uncleared transactions. So this should be a total of those checks that we selected that did not clear the bank, that had been written prior to our bank cutoff date. So at our bank cutoff date, it would be the statement date minus those uncleared transactions, or positive if it was deposits, and that would give you what your register balance was, and that would agree with if you were to run a balance sheet at 9:30, this would be the number you'd see. Next up, you have uncleared transactions. So this would be any checks or deposits that were written past that September 30th bank statement date. So that would, if you ran a report at this a balance sheet at 10:30, this would be the amount that you would see on that balance sheet for your checking balance. And you scroll down, it's going to give you all your checks in total. You can click on any of these to verify and see what's going on with them. Then you've got all your deposits that cleared during that month, and this is going to give you those 3 checks that we did not clear that had been written in prior months that still are outstanding. Typically 90 to 6 months is a typical timeline on a check to be cashed. So as you start, if these still start to be shown, especially these 814 ones, you need to double check and see why they haven't cleared with your vendors. And then at the bottom would be the checks and payments after that statement cutoff date. And then the same thing at the bottom, at the very bottom, is uncleared deposits after that set up, that bank statement. You can always go back and get these in this history. It's going to show you any reconciliation here. And you may also, this sample company doesn't seem to allow it, but you may also see a button that says attachment, and QuickBooks Online is now allowing you to go in and attach those bank statements to the reconciliation. So if you have any issues, it's all right there. So feel free to comment if you have any questions on this post, you run into any issues, see any discrepancies, and let us know, and we will update this recording.